This keeps the right man away from you. In this video, you will discover an unexpected secret that really has the right man run the opposite direction. Hey, I'm Antia Brody with Magnetize Your Man, and together with my husband, Brody Boyd, we've been helping thousands of successful women all over the world to get the connected, committed, and long-term relationship that they desire fast. So let's go ahead and dive right in. What keeps the right man away from you is you lying to yourself. I see this many times. Here's the phenomenon. You're going on dates with a particular man. Obviously, you're attracted to him. Maybe he makes you some promises. However, this story doesn't end in a happy ending. Instead, it ends up in a lot of confusion. Now, that could mean he is pulling back, he texts less, maybe he blocks you, maybe there's a misunderstanding and he doesn't talk to you anymore, whatever the case may be. So you get to the point where you say, you know what, or at least that's what you say to yourself, you're lying to yourself, is, oh, I just want closure, right? Because, I'm not going to reach out to him. I'm obviously not going to pursue him because I'm not going to be my masculine, because good luck attracting a masculine man to your life when you send masculine energy. But instead, you want to be like, I want to be my feminine, right? I want to feel cherished. I want to feel supported. I want to feel magnetic. I want to feel irresistible. So how do I solve that little conundrum? Well, very easy. You just lie to yourself. And so how this normally goes is we have different parts inside of ourselves. Now, one part inside of ourselves is the inner child. Now, the inner child is like saying, I actually still want this man. I actually still want to go on dates with this man. I actually want to be in a relationship with this man, even though this man totally disappointed me, even though this man totally like let me down, this man abandoned me, this man potentially even attacked me in some way, shape, or form. But I still want this certainty. I still want this happy ending. However, of course, that you can justify that to your healthy, mature brain. So what you say instead is, oh, I know, I'm just reaching out to him for closure. I just want to know what's going on. I'm totally over him. And here is my rule for you. So if that's really true, then you should not care if he picks up the phone or not, if he continues to pursue you or not after this phone call, if he listens to what you have to say or not, should not really matter, because all you want is just closure. So there should not be any emotional reaction. So in other words, there shouldn't be any attachment. So that's what I tell my women. This is the test for you. If he does not respond to your text message or to you asking him to have a phone call, are you going to be disappointed? If the answer is yes, that means you have an attachment. Now, of course, you're going to tell me, no, I'm totally going to be okay. I'm totally going to be fine. And look, I've seen this so many times. Now, that's what I need to do. I need to make a video about this phenomenon because I really want to avoid you falling into this pit of even more disappointment, even more embarrassment, even more pain, and even more waiting, because a man who respects himself is looking for a woman who is respecting herself as well. So then here's how the story continues. So then this particular woman reaches out to the man and says, I just want closure. And then what happens is sometimes is that the man actually starts to sort of re-engage. And you could call it a little bit breadcrumbing. And then the woman engages with that. And hold on, wait. I thought we just wanted closure. I thought we were done. We're done. And now we're like really re-engaging with it. Now we're even talking about dating again. Now we're actually talking about relationships again. What is going on? I tell you what's going on. Your inner child tricked you into thinking that you just want closure. But as soon as the inner child had the upper hand and you actually reached out to him and then attachment formed and then bonding formed, then she got the upper hand. And what does that mean is you got yourself into that same cycle again. And at that point, the man can even say, look, I'm not really interested in a long-term relationship. I don't really feel that level of attraction to you, so on and so forth. You still will look for all these reasons why you are a match and why didn't it work out and you are so great together. Because why? Because the attachment has formed again. You had made so much progress, and then last minute the attachment formed again. And now the story continues. So then you say, well, I still have my apprehensions, right? Because obviously you're a self-confident woman and you're just gonna give somebody a second chance who's not even really fighting for you. Let's face it, right? And, and you give your power away again. And so instead you're saying, but I still have my apprehensions. So, I wouldn't end up in a relationship with him, because I definitely have still my apprehensions. And again, what I see so many times is the opposite of that. And so what I'm saying here is you're lying to yourself. And I'm here to tell you something that may be pretty unpopular, which is stop lying to yourself, because then you actually behave like a 3-4-year-old behaves, because she lies to herself. She has to, because she has to convince herself that something's going to change, something's going to shift, somebody's going to rescue her, No, you are now at the adult table. You're no longer sitting at a kid's table. You're sitting at the adult table. And what that means is actually really seeing you have to be accountable for what you actually really want in your life. If you want a deep, connected, long-term relationship with a man who really desires you, pursues you, then you have to be willing to be true to yourself. And that also means if this particular man asks you for your emotions, that you're actually honest with your emotions, because the emotions are timeless and that should be also not dependent on if the other person reciprocates that emotion. Now, why is that so important? Because if a man says, is that what you really want? Is that, you have the attraction or you want a deep connect? And then you say no, then you're actually out of integrity with yourself. You're out of your, what we call queen-tegrity. Again, makes a man who's a king run the opposite direction. And then, of course, the story goes, I know what you want to tell me. Well, Antia, I can't just express my emotions, because how embarrassing is that if he doesn't pursue them? Yeah, but then you give to get. You're not actually sharing your emotions. You're actually trying to manipulate him. You're actually trying to control him by actually saying, well, I'm only going to share my emotions if he feels the same way. Instead of saying, I'm going to share my emotions, and I know by me sharing my emotions, if it's not him, it's someone else, right? So my emotions, my desire for the long-term relationship doesn't change. What I think, what I say, what I do is in alignment, and I know I can trust in that, because I know I'm going to attract a man into my life who has that same level of integrity to himself as well. And he's willing to go through disappointment, or he's willing to go through shame, or he's willing to go through pain, or he's willing to go through setback, because he is true to himself. And so when I'm true to myself, he's going to very much honor that and respect that. And that's what I see between the women who attract the right man into their life and the women who don't are the ones that are actually telling the man, even at the end, when it turns out, it's not the right match, or the man changed his mind, or now he doesn't want to get engaged anymore, or whatever the case may be, but she still authentically communicates her emotions. And then, of course, it doesn't come to a surprise that shortly after, and I'm literally talking days, sometimes just weeks, like the right man presents himself to her, right? Because I always say the men are already around you, but they're now actually becoming available to you. So if you're struggling with anything like this, then hop on over to Magnetize Your Man, take our Magnetize Your Man quiz, and learn how you can break through those self-sabotaging patterns that keep you and have you actually attracting the wrong men into your life, that take you for granted, that make you feel used, and that also make you feel like you need to disrespect yourself, and instead attract the man into your life who makes you feel cherished, honored, and supported. So for that, hop on over to magnetizeyourman.com. It's also in the link below, and I'm looking forward to talking to you next time. In the meanwhile, let me know in the comment section, what did you think about it? What's your experience? And looking forward to talking to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.